If you do go on to enjoy today's video, please consider liking it because I'm terrible at FIFA and I need all the self-esteem I can get. If you're interested in football shirts, football boots or anything football related, go check out my Depop. The link for that is also down below. If you do need any coins, head over to u7buystore.com. Use the code TVM at checkout for a discount. The link is in the description. What is going on, guys? Tim here. Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Brentford FM22 save. Where we left off, we were embarrassed by Liverpool, then we beat PSV. It's not been roses since, to be fair. It's been a bit of a mixed bag. You know, it's been some thorns in there as well. So we lost to Spurs 2-1. All the way up the top here. We gave the game away in the first 15 minutes. We were good from 15 minutes onwards. Not amazing, but we were good. And we managed to get a goal back eventually. Yeah. Lost. We beat Maripol 2-0 as you'd expect. We beat Fulham 4-0 in the league. We played very well in that game. Then we went back in for our final game of the groups. We topped the group. We won 6 of 6. We scored 21. Only conceded 4. 18 points. We are still waiting to see who we play in the final. Oh, not final. In the first knockout stage. Because the World Cup has happened. It's caused massive disruption all over the place. England won the World Cup. They beat Argentina in extra time in the final. If you are English, I'm sure you'll find some poetic justice in there somewhere. But in terms of us, it's cost us to have to wait until, you know, all the European football gets played so we can find out who drops out of the Europa League and who we end up playing, etc. So Arsenal absolutely tore us a new one, 5-0. Turns out Arsenal in FM, very good team. Arthur Cabral, never heard of him before, tore me a new one in the first half an hour or 45 minutes. First half in general, really. He was all over the place. Scored 2 headers. I then threw caution to the wind, which turned out to be a mistake because they went on to score another 3 goals. We then had to play friendlies because we needed to keep fitness up. We only had 5 players going to the World Cup. Despite our squad being very good, only 5 players went to the World Cup. So we had to keep everyone else happy and fit. That's what those friendlies were for. We then lost 3-2 to Man City, having gone 2-0 up in the first 15 minutes. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, to be honest. They were just so strong. And then eventually Kevin De Bruyne crushed my dreams. We lost to Chelsea 2-1, as you would expect. We got a consolation in that game. Onuachu came off the bench, injured, and scored a goal, Divock Origi style. The only unfortunate thing there was we still lost the game. And then we beat Bournemouth, we beat Crystal Palace in the FA Cup, we lost to Man United. That was a really close game. We were really unlucky, really. We played quite well. In terms of like keeping them out and at bay. We lost to Wolves. Really angry about this, to be honest. We picked up an injury to Nianzou. I had to change the system. We were also suffering with a lack of players due to certain transfers that would be on my control, and I'll show you them in a second. 3-3 against against Leicester, and then we beat Southampton 2-1. We're about to play Aston Villa, and then 4 days later we will play Newcastle. We were knocked out of the FA Cup somewhere. Not FA Cup, the Carabao. There, 3-1 to Man City. And then in the FA Cup, we've gone and drawn Manchester City. Fantastic. So transfers-wise, now, it's not my fault, I promise. So if we have a look to see the outgoings, you can see that Yanis Hadji has gone to Real Madrid, and Sioane, who we bought from Huesca for 5 million, literally in the summer, has gone to Real Madrid for 39.5 million. I had absolutely no say in those 2 moves at all. The board told me that Yanis Hadji is worth 54 million and we're going to take it. I tried to talk them out of it. They were like, no, sorry, he's gone. Well, fantastic. You've just sold our best player at literally a cut price. Now, don't get me wrong, we made money on him, and I think that's what the board were looking at. He cost us 11 million from Rangers. They've paid 54. The annoying thing about that is he is quite literally our best player, right? You cannot replace someone like Yanis Hadji for 54 million. It just isn't possible. In this market, I'll show you the market in a minute, is mental. The amount of money people are asking for certain players is crazy. Sioane was one of those that I bought him from Huesca for 5 million. He was on the transfer list, and potential cost rising to 6.5 apparently. But he was on the transfer list for 5 million, so we bought him. He wanted to use the club as a stepping stone, which I said, fine, you know, we'll do that. But by the time he decides to leave, we'll be good enough that he'll want to stay. The other thing was he wanted a release clause in his contract, otherwise he wouldn't sign. I tried to do it, he just would not have it. He wanted a release clause and he locked it in and I couldn't do anything about it. And it was 39.5 million. As we bought him for 5 million, there was nothing in my mind to suggest that he could possibly be worth 40 million a season and a half later. Turns out I was wrong and he's gone to Real Madrid. So we've lost our best central midfield player and our best attacking midfield player as well. We also lost Norgard, which I knew about because he'd signed it like the day after January window. They couldn't get it through in time, so he's been literally sat in the reserves waiting to go to St. Gallen for 3.5 million for about 4 months. And Charlie Good has gone to Cardiff for pennies. We have bought one player, Manuel Osifo of Oostende in the Belgian league. Good little player. I needed another centre-back. They're dropping like flies. I don't know what is going on. That's the only transfer we made. He cost 11.75 million. That was his release clause, so we were lucky there. He is currently playing on the right side of the back three. Nianzou is injured again. But the other thing is, Nianzou is a fantastic player. Gets injured a lot, but not only that, we have the option to buy him at the end of the season. But he's going to cost us 61 million. I don't think we're going to be able to afford it. So, unfortunately, that probably isn't going to happen. So I had to try and think long-ish term. Aya at the moment is going to be used as a utility, although there are clubs interested. Stanisic is back from a suspension and an injury at the same time. We just needed another centre-back. At the moment, I'm trying to get another midfielder. The problem that I have... Oh, hang on. Forgot about this. Ignacio Diaz. I think I paid 30 million, you know. It's not going to... Yeah, I mean... Is that what it says? Yeah, 30 million. That's exactly how much I paid. So, oh, there we are. There's his contract, if you're interested. Minimum fee release, 30 million. Is that his existing contract? Yeah, so we've paid the release clause. I was going to say, I'm paying him a lot more than that. We paid the release clause of 30 million. The reason why is he's only 16 and he rivals some of our players already. Like, he looks outrageous. He needs to improve in certain areas. Bravery, perhaps, and a few other areas, sure, he does need to improve. But when you're 16 years of age and you look like this, there was no way I was going to leave him there. 30 million is a steal for someone like that who's going to be worth 90 plus in a season. The reason I say that, yes, I'm in for James Ward-Prowse. Only an inquiry at this stage. We'll get on to why that is in just a second. If we go and look at the transfer market, and this isn't like listed or anything. Look at the prices. Look how much money people want for players. Alan St. Maximin, 239 million. Let's look at someone who, let's be honest, isn't really worth that money. Iheanacho. They want 95 million for him. Look at that. For Iheanacho. Are you mad? I'm sorry. Castagna, again, of Leicester. 115 million. Maddison, 124. The prices are ridiculous. And the thing that annoys me the most is my board accepted the offer of Yanis Hadji for 54 million, said it was too good to turn down. You could have got 150 million for someone like that. When who the hell is Emerson Royale? Just Emerson, I know it is. But they want 176 million for Emerson. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's not bad, but he's not 176 million pounds, is he? Come on now. Ridiculous. So I'm trying to tactic with Ward-Prowse because he's got the qualities to replace Sioane. He's actually, at the moment, he's better than Sioane. Sioane's younger, so he will improve, but he's got the qualities and he looks a phenomenal player. Would be even better from dead ball situations, free kicks, corners and such. Crossing he's very, very good at as well. The tactic at the moment is declare interest as a top target, then inquire about the player, which is what we're doing right now. Then I'm going to put an offer which is far below what they want for him. It'll get rejected. I'm okay with it because that's part of the plan. James Ward-Prowse then, if all goes according to plan, will get disgruntled, asked to be put on the transfer list because Southampton are being douchebags, and we can then get him at a cut fee. I tried it back in FM15. I've only tried it a couple of times since. It kind of half works. The problem with Ward-Prowse is he is a Southampton boy through and through. Has never played for anybody else. So chances are he's going to be loyal. And therefore he probably won't ask to be put on the transfer list. But it's worth a try. Because they want 143 million. And there is absolutely no way I'm paying 143 million for a 28-year-old James Ward-Prowse, who, let's be honest, is a good player, but he's not Ronaldo. The team to face Aston Villa, far from convincing, if you ask me. Onuachu and Nino up front, with Griffo as our central attacking midfield player. He's actually been really, really good. He stepped up big time since Hadji left, so I'm a big fan of that. The only other player we have that can play in that position is Magno right now. We have signed that 16-year-old who is built for that position. Unfortunately, we can't have him until next season, and even then he's not going to be as good as Griffo just yet, so he'll probably play a rotation, or he may end up going out on loan. Rice and Seawald in the middle, not ideal, because Seawald just isn't that great in that position. Barisic on the left and Babu on the right, and the back three who have probably never played together before, and of course Raya in goal. We have injuries, we have knocks, we have fitness concerns. We are not in very good shape. You might say the squad isn't deep enough. And I agree. The reason it isn't deep enough is because players keep leaving because the board keep accepting things. Ollie Watkins and Danny Ings up front, that is going to be a very difficult partnership to maintain. The other player that we could go for actually is John McGinn. The only problem with John McGinn is, again, they want 90 million. He's 28, he's decent, but he's not really that much of an improvement over what we already have. And to spend 90 million on a player who's just a little bit better than your current central midfield player, it's a no-go from me. Yeah, and there we go. Let's get into it. Straight back in with a highlight. Raya plays it short to the centre-back. We're going to build up from the back here. But there's look at the space on that right-hand side for Mbabu. But they've not gone to him. They've given it away to Konsa. Buendia plays a ball over to Watkins. And Babu was a little bit high up the field. Can't get back in time to stop it. And that looked offside. VAR will come and prove me right, hopefully. Let's get our centre-back to mark Danny Ings a little bit tighter next time. They've gone straight to the replay. But it looked offside because it was a deflection and he looked like he was stood in an offside position. I mean, he is, isn't he? He's miles offside. There's no need for me to worry about that, surely. We're going to get to see the line version. No, we're not. What? I'm sorry. Are you mad? He's offside, mate. I don't... What? How do I... What? I mean... He's offside, isn't he? Let me... hang on now. Hang on. There we go. That's what I want. Play it, Sam. So, Watkins, ball across. Come on. What? Where? How do I? There we go. Oh, he's not. Oh, for God's sake. So that's where the ball is hit. And whoever this idiot is playing him onside. If we spin forward one, he looks offside. But that's because the ball has travelled a good, 10 feet or more. He is onside. Oh, very, very tight there, but he is onside. That's annoying. Oh, I'm annoyed. We are on 3D now. Ball comes in. I don't actually mind watching it like this if people are interested in watching it like this. I could cope with watching it like this, I think. Ball play through to Danny Ings. He's in on goal. Keeper needs to make... Oh, what a challenge that is. That is absolutely outrageous. Was that Declan Rice? Wow. What a challenge. I thought the goalkeeper was going to have to make the save of the century, but that was pretty good. Ball comes in. Save for the goalkeeper. If you prefer watching it like this, let me know. You can also hit the like button so I can just see figures instantly without having to trawl through comments. But yes, if you want to see it like this from now on, feel free to let me know. I don't mind watching it like this. It actually looks all right. We are into the final 10 minutes. I have done all I can at this point. I have brought on Magno instead of Griffo. I've brought on Patania instead of Nino because he wasn't playing particularly well. That is a long throw. And I've shouted from the touchlines until I've lost my voice. I'm really not sure if we have it in us to do anything here. Ollie Watkins in on goal. Makes it 2-0. And our season's completely fallen apart. And it's... Ironically, it's the board that's done it as well. I'm not saying one man makes a team, but they've taken away Hadji and they've taken away... Well, I say they have taken away Sioane. Kind of my fault, really, that I put the clause... Well, or allowed him to sign with the clause in his contract, I should say. But Hadji is the biggest thing for me because every player came to me and said, we're not happy that he's gone, as if it was my fault. And what can I say? Oh, the board is to blame. I would if I could, but it was no option. Unfortunately, we've lost. Morale is... Yeah, it's on the floor right now. We need something big to turn this around. I have rotated slightly for the game against Newcastle. We're favourites, but I just have no confidence anymore. So I'm going to try something in the midfield. Rice is going to be a box-to-box midfield player. He doesn't have what it takes really to be playing the box-to-box role. He doesn't have very good finishing. That's and long shots. Those are the two sort of downsides to his game when it comes to sort of going forward, which is fine because he's not actually there to go forward. But he is in this instance. That's how I'm going to try him. Seguin, my tried and trusted Moneyball signing, is going to be playing in that defensive midfield position. Not a DM, but a central defensive midfield player, if that makes sense. Aya, he's not fit, but desperate times. I need some stability there. I need someone who can command the back three. He's going to come in at the back. Aguerd moves to the right. I'm going to rest Stanisic and Osifo. Osifo is actually a new player. He's only played like 1 game for us. 2 games, sorry. He's decent as well, but I just want a familiar back three, even though Aya and Aguerd didn't play together well the last time round. But hey, we'll go from there. There are fitness concerns all over the pitch, but without any further ado, let's get into it. The Newcastle side might be a little bit different to the one that you're used to seeing because they, of course, have a lot of money. They've bought Eric Dyer. They have bought Mukiele, Dodo, Martinez of Villa, or formerly of Villa. Niakate is in there as well. Max Aarons is there. Rodriguez, Cook, St. Maximin, Wilson. It's a relatively strong starting 11. To be fair, though, they're not playing particularly well in the league. They are in the bottom half, despite having all these new faces and clearly have spent a lot of money. The interesting thing is, the player that they bought off us, Rico Henry, I think they've sold him, or at least they've put him on the transfer list. Ball whipped in, and some hell of a whip it was as well. And Barber's going to get it on this right-hand side. This actually works a lot better because you can kind of see what is happening all the time now. My face cam isn't in the way because 2D, if they go down to put a cross in on that right-hand side, good ball from Rice. I think Nino's offside, and the referee is coming over to have a look at VAR. But he did, I mean, it was a brilliant ball from Declan Rice, but I think he's offside. That's, yeah, it's been disallowed. And that's no surprise, really, because he did look a good yard or 9 offside. Yeah, just a bit. Good finish from him, to be fair. Good at doing that, but I just wish he would do it when he was onside. I just wish Declan Rice would have played it when he was onside. Who's at fault there, really? Is it the ball player or is it the runner to sort of not... You know, they need to hold their run a bit more. Onuachu, inside to Rice. Ball to Firmino. Seguin, good ball through to Griffo. Good save from Martinez. The bane of my life, that goalkeeper. In any game I play, it could be Halo, and he'd be there stopping me. Villa have just gone 1-0 up against Crystal Palace. I think Aston Villa are going to turn into an absolute powerhouse going forward. They've turned everything around there. They've got a really good team. They must have used the money that they got for Martinez and strengthened accordingly. Leeds are doing very well as well. They've just appointed Andrea Pirlo as manager. Make of that what you will. Dodo into De Frutos. I thought you'd go up the line. Is Mukiele. I didn't look at the formation that they were playing, but it does look like that they're playing some sort of back three. Here is Griffo, who's done particularly well since Hadji left. He actually came to me the day after Hadji left and said that he wanted to go out on loan because he wasn't getting the first team football. And I said, don't worry, you're going to be getting first team football all right. And he hasn't left the starting lineup since. There is a goal. There's no need for VAR. Onuachu with his 417th goal of the season. Quite impressive, if I do say so myself. It's a little tap-in, to be fair. And now the replay is a little bit closer, so you get to see just a little bit. I can't zoom in, unfortunately. But, yeah. I think I like the new system. What do you reckon? Are we going to keep this? Let me know. I quite like it. I'm not a massive fan of 3D Engine, you know this, but this I can cope with. I can see everything. It allows me to see where the gaps are and how people are getting through us, etc. We move up into 8th if things stay the same. Something tells me they're not going to. Raya catches comfortably. Don't boot it up the pitch. You've got all these look at all these options. Look down here, over here, over here. There we go, finally. Why do they take so long? I've not got quick distribution on, but at the same time, there's plenty of option. You might as well just roll it out. What are you waiting for? We've lost the ball, which is no surprise to anyone. Here's Wilson. And they've just given it away. And now, finally, surely this is our... Oh, back to the keeper. Back into the... No, back into the goal. This should be our highlight now. And Babu played up the line. Firmino wants a run. There he goes. In the box for Onuachu, you can see it coming a mile away. And there, I mean, you could just see it coming. 24 goals for Onuachu this season. Firmino with another assist. That front two. I'm actually very happy with the way that that's worked out. I did have my concern. When we sold Ivan Toney and I was looking around, I could not find a replacement. And it worried me. But then I found that kid. We could bring him in on loan. We have the option to buy for 31 million. The annoying thing is we're not going to have enough money to buy our centre-back. But given the fact that he's probably only played like 5 games for us all season anyway, I'm not really going to miss him. Which is a shame because he is actually the best centre-back that we have. But it is what it is. We have a corner now with Barisic. Whipped in. Wallace over the bar. This is a much better performance. We are playing far better. But then again, we're not playing a team as good as Aston Villa right now. Griffo whips it in. Wallace has hit the bar. Dyer gets it clear. And we're straight back on it again. Or are we? Are we about to get 45th minuted? De Frutos down that right-hand side. Can he put a ball into the box? No. Comes back to Dodo. Can he put a ball in? No. Rodriguez goes back to the middle with Eric Dyer. Out to the left. Oh. So you can see it. You can see it a lot clearer than 2D. He's gone to VAR as if he needs it. I suppose it's a question of whether was it a penalty or is it a free kick. I don't know, if I'm honest. I wasn't really paying attention to where it was. It was a foul. I just don't know where it was. And the penalty has been awarded. Fantastic. We are about to get 45th minuted. We have played the allotted stoppage time. That's not going to stop Callum Wilson from slotting this in, I'm sure. 2-1. Well, what was a very comfortable performance has now turned into squeaky bum time. Firmino was in here very, very quickly after the break. I hadn't even clicked record, and Onuachu has made it 3-1. Well. That team talk has inspired. Onuachu has a hat-trick, and the order, as it were, has been restored. Great ball over the top. Defence just sleeping. Firmino turns, dinks it back in, and who's there? But the tower himself that is Onuachu, and he makes it 3-1. Hopefully, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go cautious because I did that against Man City. Played cautious. I actually played a different system, but played cautious, and it seemed to, like, we were a lot tighter. We weren't making as many mistakes. I am going to bring Maitland-Niles on. Oh, I was going to, but, you know, FM. I know you said FIFA then. Where are we? Maitland-Niles is going to come on from Babu. He's on a booking. He's not too happy with his fitness. Onuachu has his hat-trick. I might take him off and bring on Petagna. I know that sounds a bit stupid because we do have Magno on the bench, but Petagna is actually pretty good off the bench. Griffo, Seguin, long ball over the top to a knackered Onuachu, who's in on goal, who makes it 4. Referee and the linesman happy that that's not offside. And he has just got 4 goals at home to Newcastle. What a man. Was it Seguin that played that ball? Oh, he's magnificent. Seguin is one of those players who will be at the club when he's 35 and he'll get given 1 game a season in the Carabao Cup 3rd round and he'll be in the Hall of Fame. What a man. I mean, Moneyball at its best right there. We have a corner in the dying embers, and it's just over the bar from Wallace, who hasn't scored in a little while, so he must be shaking a little bit. But that is the end of the game. 4 goals to 1, a very convincing performance. Seguin has played very, very well. He's got himself an assist. But the thing to take away from that, I think, is that midfield 2 of Seguin and Rice worked, and it worked well. Putting Aya back in worked as well, actually. Yeah, room for thought there. So before that Newcastle game, I put a bid in for Nemanja Maksimovic of Getafe. He had a release clause of 32 million. I had no option but to trigger it if I wanted to bring him in. So that's exactly what I did. Now, I know that in that game, Rice playing as that box-to-box worked, and Seguin playing as the holding central midfield player worked as well. It was only Newcastle. Like, no disrespect to Newcastle. They were 14th in the league. They're still gelling, having spent all the money on their squad. So you can't really judge it just based on that one game. And I'd already put the bid in for Maksimovic, and I think he is a very good player. That is how we'll look going into the next game. Aya and Aguerd have sorted their differences. They now play fairly well together. They've created that glorious-looking umbrella. We just need Griffo to get more sort of accustomed to playing in that central attacker midfield role with Onuachu and Nino up front, so then they get that link. It's only a matter of time before Rice and Maksimovic get that link as well, because they are going to be the main two. I like the team a lot more now. And Babu is suspended, by the way. That's why he is not currently at right back, and it's Maitland-Niles. But to be fair, Maitland-Niles has done really well. I'm so glad I bought him. So that will do it for today. The league table before we leave. We're in 8th. We are just behind Aston Villa. I say just behind. We're 4 points adrift of 7th place. So we are going to have a little bit of work to do to get back into those European places. Villa, Leicester and Leeds make up the 5th, 6th and 7th positions. Chelsea are having an absolute abysmal time. They've sacked their manager, as have Spurs a few times. I'm not sure who's in charge of Tottenham at these days. And Leeds, of course, like I said, they've appointed Andrea Pirlo, which is interesting. But in the next episode, where are we going to pick things up? I'm not quite sure. It just depends on how I feel at the time. We do have a knockout round game there, so I think that's where we pick it up. I mean, it just has to be, doesn't it? We'll do that, and then we'll play Blackburn in the league. That sounds good. So when we come back, you'll see how much we've lost to Man City and Leeds by. But yeah, should be fun. Hopefully Maksimovic can make the difference. If you have enjoyed that, do me a favour and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for new, and until the next time, goodbye.